Imagine being the lead actress in one of Disney's most iconic reboots and getting absolutely obliterated at the box office by a movie based on pixelated blocks. That's not a joke. That's exactly what just happened. Rachel Zegler's Snow White remake, already knee-deep in controversy, has officially been crushed by the release of the Minecraft movie, a film based on a game with no dialogue, no narrative structure, and no princesses in sight. And the internet is having a field day. Because while Minecraft delivered entertainment, fun, and a sincere nod to its source material, Snow White tried to deconstruct a fairy tale and ended up alienating its entire audience. Now, with the numbers in, the backlash mounting, and insiders leaking more by the day, Rachel Zegler has reportedly reached a breaking point. Let's unpack the cultural fallout, the fan rejection, and how a movie about mining for diamonds ended up burying Disney's Golden Girl. Before we dive into one of the most bizarre and chilling mysteries to ever hit Hollywood, make sure to subscribe if you love deep dives into unsolved cases, hidden truths, and shocking celebrity mysteries. Trust me, this one is going to leave you speechless. Act 1, A Tale of Two release. Let's start with the box office. The Minecraft movie opened to a massive $118 million globally, beating expectations and drawing in massive family audiences. It wasn't just gamers, it was parents, kids, teens, and nostalgic adults who just wanted something fun. Meanwhile, Disney's Snow White remake limped into theaters with a painfully weak debut, just $34 million opening weekend, and an even steeper drop-off in week 2. By comparison, Minecraft didn't just beat Snow White, it dismantled it, and critics are calling it poetic justice. Act 2, How Minecraft Won, Simplicity and Respect. So, how did a movie with no plot-driven video game background outperform one of Disney's most beloved IPs? 2 words: audience respect. Minecraft didn't try to be profound, it didn't try to inject heavy-handed moral lessons, it didn't talk down to its audience or pretend it was smarter than the source material. It just had fun. It celebrated creativity. It celebrated the joy of world building. It embraced the tone of the game and turned it into a cinematic playground. No lectures, no irony, just a movie that knew exactly what it was supposed to be. Compare that to Snow White, which didn't just reimagine the original, it rejected it. Act 3, Rachel Zegler's disconnect with the role. Let's talk about Rachel. The lead actress in a major Disney princess reboot should be a beacon of joy and nostalgia. Instead, Zegler's press tour turned into a PR disaster. She called the 1937 classic creepy. She said the prince was a stalker. She mocked the concept of true love and claimed this new version would be all about leadership and not needing a man. Now look, it's 2025. We all support strong female characters. But when you're cast to play a legacy character like Snow White, audiences expect you to show reverence, not revisionist disdain. Zegler didn't just criticize the original, she made it sound like she was above it. And that's when the audience checked out. Act 4, The Backlash, Fan Rebellion, and Meme Culture. Once her comments went viral, the backlash was swift and brutal. Fans created side-by-side comparisons of Zegler's quotes versus the original film's message. Reddit threads exploded. TikTokers started parodying her interviews. YouTube creators released reaction videos by the dozens. The phrase, "Not my Snow White," started trending. Even casual Disney fans began echoing the same sentiment. If she hates the original so much, why is she playing the character? Meanwhile, the Minecraft fandom quietly showed up to support a film that respected their beloved game. The contrast couldn't be more obvious or more damning. Act 5, Inside Disney, Panic and Spin Mode. Internally, Disney is reportedly in panic mode. The company had already been dealing with backlash over the removal of the prince, the CGI replacement of the dwarfs, and the massive $250 million budget. But being humiliated by Minecraft at the box office, that's a brand crisis. Executives are scrambling to adjust the messaging. Retailers are pulling Snow White merch. Park promotions have been quietly canceled. And whispers suggest that Disney is even considering retooling future princess remakes to avoid this kind of disaster again. Rachel Zegler may have been the face of the film, but now she's the face of the fallout. Act 6, Rachel Zegler's reported breakdown. According to sources close to the actress, Zegler has been deeply shaken by the film's reception and the Minecraft comparison. What was once supposed to be her breakout, career-defining role has become a running internet joke. One insider revealed, She's heartbroken. She thought she was doing something empowering. Now she feels like she's being scapegoated for a project that was broken from the start. And while that might be true, Zegler didn't write the script. Her attitude made things worse. There's a growing sense that she's learned the hard way. When you inherit a beloved role, you're borrowing it from the fans, not reinventing it for your ego. Act 7, Hollywood, takes notes. The Minecraft model. Believe it or not, Minecraft's success has already sent ripples through Hollywood. Producers are now calling it the blueprint. Not because it's perfect, but because it reminds studios of a very simple principle: if your source material has fans, respect them. Don't mock the old versions. Don't use the story as a vehicle for social commentary unless the source material supports it. And don't cast leads who seem embarrassed by the role. Minecraft succeeded because it was made with fans in mind. Snow White failed because it was made for approval from critics, from activists, from online discourse, but not from the people who actually buy tickets. Act 8, a cultural turning point. The Snow White versus Minecraft box office war has become more than just a numbers game. It's become a cultural turning point. For years, fans have been warning studios, stop prioritizing messaging over storytelling. Stop insulting your own legacy. Stop assuming nostalgia means consent. Now, with Snow White officially flopping and Minecraft thriving without controversy, studios are finally paying attention. Audiences want movies that bring people together, not projects that divide them. And in this case, a silent protagonist with a pickaxe beat a Disney princess with a megaphone. So, let's get this straight. A live-action remake of one of the most beloved Disney films of all time, a movie that defined the princess formula, launched an empire, and sits in the Library of Congress for historical significance, just got body-slammed at the box office by a movie about blocks. Actual square blocks, dirt cubes, creepers, crafting tables, that Minecraft. And who's in the center of this cinematic collapse? Rachel Zegler, the would-be Snow White who somehow managed to turn a guaranteed Disney win into a cultural wildfire, one that's not just burning down her career, but scorching Disney's carefully manufactured identity along with it. Act 1, how do you lose to Minecraft? Let's not sugarcoat this. Disney had everything lined up. Nostalgia, check. Massive budget, oh yeah, reportedly over 200. Iconic IP with global recognition. You're literally remaking Snow White, the film that put Disney on the map in 9. And yet, despite every advantage, the studio face-planted into the dirt. And not just any dirt, the pixelated kind. While Minecraft surged past $300 million in its opening weeks, Snow White sputtered out of the gate, barely managing to scrape together enough to cover its advertising budget. If this had been a fairy tale, it would have ended in Chapter 1, mid-sentence, with the words, "and then it all went horribly wrong." Act 2, when your lead actress seems to hate the movie. Let's talk about the elephant in the poisoned forest, Rachel Zegler's complete and total misfire as a spokesperson for the film. In a masterclass on how to alienate your entire target audience, Zegler went on press tours dismissing the 1937 classic as weird, dated, and not something little girls should look up to. That's right. The lead in Snow White, Disney's foundational character, called her own story problematic, and the prince, a creepy stalker, according to Zegler. No wonder fans didn't show up. Why would they? The star of the film basically told them not to bother. What Disney failed to understand is that you can't sell empowerment by trashing enchantment. You can't build a new narrative while mocking the one your entire brand is built on. That's not subversion. That's self-sabotage. Act 3, the dwarfs are gone, and so is the plot. Now let's talk about the bizarre creative choices that made Snow White 2025 feel less like a film and more like a studio losing its mind in real time. First, the dwarfs? Gone. Replaced by CGI magical beings of diverse backgrounds in an attempt to avoid offending people. Ironically offending everyone in the process, including members of the dwarfism community who called it erasure. Then, the romance? Deleted. Because apparently true love and fairy tale endings are now cringe. In this version, Snow White doesn't fall in love, she leads. She lectures, she liberates herself from the idea of needing anyone, and ends the movie alone, empowered and emotionally disconnected from her own audience. It's like Disney made a movie about Snow White while also saying, "We really wish we didn't have to." Act 4. Meanwhile, Minecraft just let people have fun. You want to know what Minecraft did right? It gave people joy. No lectures, no politics, no agenda. Just fun, humor, color, world building. It respected its fan base by giving them exactly what they love about the game, and that's it. That's the whole formula. And it worked. Because while Disney was busy trying to reinvent the princess wheel, Minecraft was busy having a good time. It didn't talk down to its audience. It didn't get lost in boardroom buzzwords like relevance and representation. It just respected its roots and got out of its own way. And the box office reflects it loudly. Act 5 inside Zegler's post-flop meltdown. Sources close to Rachel Zegler are saying it's been emotionally devastating. Apparently, she believed she was doing something bold, different, progressive. She thought she was bringing something fresh to the table. But when the memes started rolling in, when South Park roasted her character into oblivion, when TikTok montages started layering her quotes over the Minecraft movie's victory scenes, that's when it reportedly hit. "She's not sleeping," said one insider. "She feels like she's being blamed for the whole movie collapsing." And maybe she is. But let's be honest, she didn't help. You don't become the face of a franchise only to mock the story's values on live TV and expect fans to line up with popcorn and open hearts. Act 6. Disney's identity crisis is now fully public. Snow White was never just about a princess, it was about Disney's identity. It was their first animated feature, their crown jewel, the DNA of the company. And now, it's become the punchline of every Hollywood satire sketch. South Park's mockery wasn't just a jab, it was a public autopsy. Disney has now backed itself into a corner where it can't do traditional storytelling without being accused of regression. But its modern rewrites are alienating everyone who once believed in the magic. They tried to modernize Snow White so much, they turned her into someone no one recognized, least of all, herself. Act 7. Studios are quietly panicking. Behind closed doors, other studios are now scrambling. Live-action adaptations of Tangled, The Princess and the Frog, even Moana are now under restructuring reviews. Because if Snow White, the most iconic princess of them all, can flop this hard, anything can. No one wants another Zegler-level meltdown on their hands. There's talk of requiring all lead actors in reboots to undergo IP sensitivity training to avoid what happened here, where the actress seemed actively embarrassed to be playing the role she was hired to promote. The trust between studios and audiences is so thin right now you could print a script on it and it would still be too much. Act 8. When a fairy tale stops being fun. This is the real tragedy. Fairy tales are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to whisk you away from reality, not shove a Twitter thread down your throat. They're supposed to make you feel something, hope, love, adventure, longing, not secondhand embarrassment for a studio that clearly doesn't know what story it's telling. And that's what Snow White 2025 missed completely. In its quest to modernize a classic, it forgot the core human emotions that made that story endure for nearly a century. Minecraft, for all its digital simplicity, understood something timeless. Let the audience play. Act 9. The audience has spoken. Are studios listening yet? So now the question is, what happens next? Will Disney learn? Will Hollywood stop handing legacy roles to actors who openly roll their eyes at the source material? Will studios finally realize that representation means nothing without authentic storytelling? Or will they keep doubling down, shoving ideology into magic, rewriting beloved characters to meet quotas, and watching their legacy crumble one remake at a time? Because the numbers are clear. The fans have spoken. And this time, they chose blocks over a broken crown. Outro. When pixels win over politics. Rachel Zegler came into Snow White hoping to be a role model, but somewhere along the way, she lost the plot, literally and figuratively. The movie that was meant to reintroduce a classic ended up rewriting it beyond recognition. And while she may not have intended to upset anyone, her tone, her quotes, and her presence became the symbol of everything fans are tired of. Meanwhile, Minecraft delivered joy, humor, and a clear respect for what made the game iconic. And when the dust settled, the film with no dialogue and no controversy walked away with the win. Hollywood, take notes! Sometimes a silent protagonist says more than a rewritten classic ever could. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Are you team Minecraft? Do you think Rachel Zegler deserves the backlash? And is Disney finally learning its lesson? Don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns of the biggest wins and worst flops in Hollywood. This one was definitely a flop.